Francisco police officer entered the plane with no SCBA, and Jim Cunningham, and I just want to thank him because we needed everybody that day.
I was driving my patrol car, and I pulled inside the Signature Aircraft Terminal, which is not too far from the crash site. So I just stepped in for a second to see what was going on, just to do a welfare check inside the building. When I heard Officer Jeff Brown, very calmly, I think, at the time, said that call for code 33777 down. And I just stopped for a second, and I was in shock. And then I asked where, dispatch, asked where, and he said out in the airfield. And then I ran outside the building. I saw a tunnel of smoke and dust flying throughout the air. As I turned around, there's an ambulance from UCSF having me pick up a patient. And I guess I yelled the loudest voice I had because their windows were rolled up. They stopped their ambulance. I said, "Stop, we need your help. There's a crash." And then I jumped in my patrol car and said, "Follow me." And I opened up the security gate next to the Signature Aircraft. And then we're driving towards the safe road where off the runway. And I was calling for the dispatch to clear the runway, shut the runway down, don't let anybody go on the runway. And I was concerned if we went out there, it would be too dangerous, and another plane come down and hit us and cause a worse scene. So I saw one of the fire vehicles going by, and I just waved her on to follow us. I was trying to race out there, but I remember the fire paramedics were behind me, and they couldn't keep up to my car, and I was trying not to lead-foot it, so they wouldn't get in an accident themselves. So we got out to the scene, and we pulled some distance apart. I have a safety zone, we bring patients. And just when I pulled up, got out, then Officer Derek Lee pulled up in his car. He doesn't want to talk about it, but he jumped in. He wasn't driving a car that day, but he quickly got in a car, drove across the runways, risked himself going across the runways to get to this location. And right after that, Officer Stuart Mulver arrived. And we saw the two chutes come down from the front of the plane, and people were staying on top of it, I guess still coming out. There's a lot of other people that are just hanging around in the front of the plane. And there's other people getting a safe distance away. And actually, some people are coming back trying to get their luggage. And we're trying to tell people we knew that when there's a damage like this to an airplane, this thing can go up in a couple of minutes in a ball of flames. So me and Officer Lee ran towards the front. We saw some older people on the ground, flight attendants trying to help them. And they started yelling at us to get, if they had any knives, they need some knives. So Officer Lee pulled out his knife, opened it up, and one of the crew came down, grabbed it. There's another crew member. I didn't put mine up because I don't want to get stabbed with it, so I tossed it to him. They went up there and released some passengers. We kept on trying to get the crew. They're really brave, the crew. They wanted to stay with the plane, make sure everybody was off, the flight attendants and the crew. And we kept on waving, get down, get down. And then Officer Lee and I turned around, looked at the wing of the plane, and there was this gushing with fuel right next to us. And we got to get out of here, let's go. And so the people were on the ground, we pick up and grab them, start bring them towards the paramedics there. I'll probably forget things because a lot of things are hazy because so much happened. And then when I turn around, we got away from the plane safely, and I turned around and I saw the back of the plane and the tail was missing. And the bottom, that part of the plane was resting on the ground. And there's people on the ground near there, obviously either just barely got out the airplane and dropped right there on the ground. So I think Officer Mulver and Officer Lee, we came running over there, and I saw that inside the plane there was people, the fire crew was inside there, and they didn't look like they had enough people. They were just totally overwhelmed because there's that plane plus the other wreckage down at the other end of the runway, and there's people spread all over the place. So the overhead luggage compartments had collapsed and it blocked the exit getting out of there. And I just started grabbing pieces of luggage, whatever I could do to get myself inside there. And then Lieutenant Catano, I can't pronounce his last name right now. It's too hard, I'm Irish, I can't pronounce it. Catano came behind me, I started passing him luggage because we wanted to clear the luggage out so people would get the fire crew out there. And then at that time, it was pretty safe. There's smoke in the air. The fire crew was doing a good job suppressing the heat. So I went inside there, and we're trying to get people out backwards. A lot of people had injuries. They couldn't move out of their seats, or else they were just scared to move. and I was with the fire crew. I was trying to follow off of them what to do, try and get back towards in there. And we started towards the last couple of people. I started coughing, and the lieutenant, she started coughing too. She had just taken off her Sky Air package, which that was pretty safe. And then we started filling up with smoke, and then we looked up, and we were just about getting ready to go out. And just a black pillow of smoke just came rushing towards us. It stopped for a second just before we got out the plane. And then our next goal was just to try to get people, get people away from the plane next, because after we got everybody out of the plane, we're trying to get people away from the plane because the ground there was all dry grass. And one spark, anybody lying on the ground would get burnt up. I don't know what else to say.
What was amazing also was I went to Officer Cunningham. You think the airplane's cleared? You think there's any more passengers? You think we got them all out? He goes, I think so, hold on. And he goes running back in. And I go, great. So he's going running back in, and I'm looking for him, and I can't see him. And then he comes back out. He goes, they're all out. They're all out. There's nobody there. And it's just amazing. And it's just, it's all in the heart, and you can see that. So thank you.
Yeah, I was about to remind that because the lieutenant came up to me. There's some miscommunication during the incident, and they said there's 40, 50 people missing. My heart just dropped. I know I looked, and I thought I made a mistake. I wanted to go back in and look through the rubble, and I was walking. And by then, it was burning in the middle, and I almost started crying because I thought I screwed up and some people got killed. And then later on, we found out it was just a miscommunication and stuff. But I was sure I'd run through there and make sure everybody was safe. And the fire department, the lieutenant, she was in there. I know she made sure everybody was safe. And I second-guessed myself, went back in, take a look again. And when I saw it on fire, I was just hoping that nobody was in there.